$12, $15, maybe $17 with a drink. That's your lunch. Every single workday. It doesn't feel like a problem. It feels normal, ordinary, expected. Everybody at your job does it. The break room is empty. The drive-through line is packed. But that harmless little habit is silently draining one of the biggest wealth-building opportunities you'll ever have. And by the end of this video, you're going to see exactly how much it's really costing you. And it's not what you think. Here's the thing about small spending. It hides. You notice when rent goes up by $200. You notice when your car payment jumps. But $15, that slides right past you. It doesn't trigger any alarm bells. Your brain files it under normal. And that's what makes it so dangerous. A study from the Bureau of Labor Statistics found that the average American household spends over $3,500 a year on food away from home. That's not groceries. That's restaurants, takeout, delivery apps, and work lunches. And the sneaky part? Most people underestimate their food spending by 40%. You think you're spending $200 a month eating out. The real number is closer to $350. That gap, that invisible gap, is where your wealth is leaking. Every single month, you don't see it because each purchase is small. But stacked together, day after day, week after week, those small purchases become one of the biggest expenses in your entire budget, and you never even realized it was there. So why do you keep doing it? It's not because you're lazy. It's not because you're bad with money. It's because your brain is wired to discount small repeated costs. Behavioral economists call this mental accounting. Your mind puts a $15 lunch in a completely different category than a $450 monthly expense, even though they're the same thing. Here's how it works. When you're about to spend $15, your brain runs a quick cost-benefit check. $15 for a hot meal, convenience, no prep time, a break from your desk. That feels like a great deal. Your brain says yes instantly, but your brain never zooms out. It never adds up all the yeses. It never calculates the monthly total. And it definitely never projects what that money could become over 10 or 20 years. That's not your fault. That's how every human brain works. And the food industry knows it. That's why meals are priced in that sweet spot. Not so cheap you don't care. Not so expensive you hesitate. Right in the middle, where it feels effortless to say yes. Every pricing decision on every menu is designed to keep you in that zone. The combo meal, the app-only deal, the free delivery over $15. These aren't random. These are strategies built to make sure you never stop and do the math. And as long as you don't do the math, you'll keep spending. So let's do the math. All right, let's break this down dollar by dollar. You buy lunch at work 5 days a week. The average meal costs you $15. That's $75 per week. Multiply that by 4 weeks. $300 per month. Multiply that by 12 months. $3,600 per year. Now you could pack lunch instead. A home-prepped meal costs roughly $3 to $5. Let's call it $4. That's $20 per week, or $80 per month. That means the difference between buying lunch and packing lunch is $220 every single month. $220. That's not pocket change. That's a car payment. That's half a rent increase. That's real money. Now here's where it gets wild. Take that $220 per month. Put it into a basic index fund that tracks the stock market. Historically, the market has averaged about 10% per year over the long run. After 5 years, you have $17,000. After 10 years, you have $45,600. After 20 years, that same $220 per month becomes $165,600. Let me say that again, $165,000 from lunch money. Now, some of you are thinking, that's not realistic. Nobody invests perfectly for 20 years. Fair. So let's cut it in half. Say you only manage to redirect $110 per month. You miss some months. Life happens. Even at that reduced amount, after 20 years at 10%, you still end up with over $82,000. And if you only do it for 10 years, you still got $22,800. That is real. That is math, not motivation. And here's the sentence you need to remember. A $15 daily lunch habit over 20 years, invested instead at a 10% average return, grows into six figures. From money you never even noticed spending. That's not a sacrifice, that's a wealth transfer from your future self to a fast food counter. Now you might be thinking, it's just lunch. Why does this even matter? It matters because the system is designed to keep you spending exactly this way. The fast food industry in America generated over $350 billion in revenue in 2023. That money came from somewhere. It came from your wallet, a few dollars at a time, and the companies know exactly what they're doing. They spend billions on advertising designed to hit you at your weakest moments. Lunchtime, when you're tired, when you're stressed, when the last thing you want to do is think about food prep. Delivery apps take it further. One-tap ordering, saved payment methods, push notifications right at noon. They've removed every possible barrier between you and spending. The entire business model depends on you not doing the math. It depends on you viewing each purchase in isolation. One lunch, one afternoon snack, one coffee. None of them feel significant alone, but together they represent thousands of dollars per year flowing out of your account and into corporate revenue. According to a 2023 report from the National Restaurant Association, adults under 44 spend a higher percentage of their food budget on eating out than any other age group. That's not a coincidence. That's targeting. The system profits most from the people who can least afford to lose that money. Young workers, first-generation earners, people just getting started, the ones who need every dollar working for them, not sitting in a cash register. Now here's the objection you're probably already forming. You work hard. You deserve to eat. You shouldn't have to deprive yourself just to save a few dollars. And you're right. This is not about never eating out again. That's not realistic. That's not even healthy mentally. This is about awareness, about shifting the ratio, about keeping more of your money and making it grow. Here's a plan that actually works in real life. Step 1, pack lunch 3 days a week, just 3. You still eat out twice. Nobody's asking you to suffer. A basic meal prep, rice, protein, vegetables, costs about $4 per meal. That shift alone saves you $33 per week. That's $132 per month. Step 2, open a free brokerage account online. It takes 10 minutes. Set up an automatic transfer of $130 per month into a basic index fund. You'll never even think about it after the first week. Step 3, every 6 months, check your balance. Watch that number grow. When you see your money compounding, something changes inside you. The impulse to grab takeout gets quieter. The pride of building something gets louder. After just 1 year of this, you'll have roughly $1,600 saved and invested. That's more than most Americans have in their emergency fund. After 3 years, you're looking at over $5,400. You didn't get a raise. You didn't start a business. You just packed a lunch 3 days a week and redirected the savings into something that grows. That's not deprivation. That's strategy. 2 people, both making $50,000 a year. Same city, same rent, same bills, same paycheck hitting their account every 2 weeks. Person A buys lunch every workday, $15 a meal, 5 days a week, $300 a month out the door. Doesn't think twice about it. It's just what everyone does. After 10 years, person A has spent $36,000 on work lunches. That money is gone, completely consumed. Nothing to show for it except receipts they never looked at. Person B does something different. Packs lunch 3 days a week. Still eats out twice. Still enjoys food. But takes that $132 per month in savings and puts it into an index fund. Doesn't touch it. Doesn't think about it. Just lets it grow. After 10 years, person B's account has grown to roughly $27,200. Let that sit with you. Same job, same paycheck, same city. Person A has 0. Person B has $27,200, and that gap only gets wider. After 20 years, person B is sitting on approximately $99,600, close to 6 figures, from packing lunch 3 days a week. Person A, still at zero, still wondering why they can never get ahead, still thinking wealth is something that happens to other people. It's not. Wealth is something that happens when you see what others don't and act on it. The difference wasn't talent, it wasn't luck, it wasn't a better job or a wealthy family. It was awareness. It was one small decision made consistently. This isn't about lunch. It never was. It's about seeing what's invisible to everyone else. The small leaks, the quiet drains, the places where your future is being spent before you even get to build it. Starting tomorrow, you're not the person who mindlessly swipes for a meal anymore. You're the person who sees the $30,000 hiding inside a daily habit. This is not your fault. Nobody taught you this, but now you know. And knowing changes everything. Subscribe, because there's a lot more they didn't teach you about your money.